Man, I don't know who let the Lord of Chaos rule, because I didn't know if I was coming or going with episode 8, He Who Comes with the Dawn of season 3 of The Wheel of Time. Hey everyone, welcome to Dragonmount. I'm Thom, and this is Crystal. Say hi, Crystal.
Hi, Crystal.
Yes. We are going to talk about episode 8 of the season 3 of Wheel of Time, He Who Comes with the Dawn. And remember, this is going to be a full book spoiler review, a full TV show and a full book spoiler review, so just be warned. But as per always, first, we have to thank all of y'all, the viewers who are watching and interacting with these videos, because this is literally the reason why we do it, for y'all. Let us know what you think. Make sure to post comments, give us your thoughts, and what do you want to see us talk about next? Do you want to see us dive into something deep? Let us know. And a special thank you to our Patreon supporters of our all-new Patreon. You can go and climb Dragonmount when you join the different membership tiers of Dragonmount, and we even slyly added in a free tier by including, when you join for free without like a paid membership, you can see a post that we made that tells you what you get for free. You just have to email us and let us know your information so that we can, give it to you. And then a huge thank you to our official sponsors, Tor Books, who literally without them, none of this would be possible, because we wouldn't have a Wheel of Time. But also, like, all of the fantastic fantasy books that they continue to assist in creating. They give a great platform to fantasy authors of all kinds, and you just really should just go check out everything that they're putting out. So yeah, there was a lot in this episode.
This episode was the most stressful episode of television I have ever watched. I literally had to pause it just to catch my breath.
It was a very long episode. It was like, it was over an hour. I mean, we've had 51-minute episodes, 52-minute episodes, and the runtime of this episode is over an hour. There is a significant, maybe 40-second, probably maybe a full minute recap in the beginning, because they recap a lot, but it was a long episode and there was a lot in it.
Well, and I think it was even more jarring after going nowhere. Like, we stayed in one location for last week's episode, and so then we were everywhere, trying to catch up frantically with everybody. But also sometimes that happened in the books too, where you spent a long time with someone and then suddenly you're 2 or 3 different places.
I mean, we had episode 4, we were only in Ruidian. Episode 5, it was really just back and forth between Cold Rock's Hold and Two Rivers, but it was we spent long periods of time in both places. But there were multiple episodes where we spent a lot of time in one place, and then so we're in Tar Valon, we're in Tanchico, we're in the Aiel Waste, we're in the World of Dreams, we're in another dimension with the Eelfin, and for what was it?
It was less than 5 seconds. We see the Two Rivers. Yeah.
So, or, somewhere outside the Two Rivers is Fail and Bane and Shead, looking over what looks like a significantly sized White Cloak army.
Yeah. It felt so frantic to me, which is a really good, wow.
Yeah. That's a pretty big.
Okay.
White
So
Cloak army.
In each little, whatever, what do you call those in the military? Battalion. How many people, how many humans do you think are in each battalion?
Let's see. So we got...
Is there not an average for that kind of thing?
It's about 2,000, around 2,000 White Cloaks in this, this little group right here. It's a lot of White Cloaks.
That's, yep.
Yeah. And
intimidating.
So what we're not going to get with them is going to be the Pat and Fane interactions in between, because now they know Pat and Fane. Depending on what they do with Lord Luke or Issam or Slayer or whatever you want to call him, he still could have a role here, and if he's of the Shadow, he could kind of be like a bridge between Pat and Fane still affecting the White Cloaks and him being present, because he seemed to be present with Dane a whole bunch. So we'll see what they decide to do with him.
Well, and in his drunken state, Dane's probably pretty easy to manipulate.
Yeah, and whoops. And our girls here, they don't seem really put off by the white cloak numbers. No,
She's-
I mean, what is it like? Probably 60 white cloaks to one maiden. So I'm sure they could probably annoy them enough to maybe get Perrin out of that group. I can't wait to see this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so hot take. I don't know if it's a hot take. You guys tell me if it's a hot take or not. I think this might be the replacement of the Aiel being captured by the Shido.
Yeah.
Like instead of Aiel being captured by the Shadow and Perrin stalking after the Shido and trying to get Aiel back, it's going to be this. It's going to be Aiel and Bane and Chiad going after Perrin, who is now taken by the White Cloaks.
Yep, I like it.
I hope that's what it is. I mean, like, I'm sure they could still do something with the Shido later on in Aiel, maybe if they want. It doesn't have to be the whole storyline. It could just be like, something and make it a reference to it, and then that's it. It doesn't have to be, a 4-season arc of Perrin walking after them. So I will, if they don't include that storyline with, Aiel and the Shido and stuff like that, I will miss like that Perrin moment where he tortures the Aiel, he cuts off his hands and his feet.
Oh yeah.
It's such a horrible moment, but like it was so character building for Perrin because like he realized what he was doing, and that's when he throws the axe away. And like I just kind of hope they keep that same kind of character building moment for Perrin, because one, it was like brutal. Like that's where he really decides that it needs to be a hard balance between violence and creation and non-violence and things like that. Like that dichotomy.
They did a good job starting to set that up, especially in last week's episode, that battle between the hammer and the axe. Yeah, I just was reading online, people still talking about the change in his storyline. And I don't think they realize yet like how much it has affected his character in a positive way.
He's
no longer just toxic and overprotective and chivalrous to a fault. I mean, he has a reason behiund the things he does now.
As a woman, I'm sure you could probably attest to it's like not great to have, to have a dude just be overly chivalrous and like answer everything and like defend everything.
I don't want them to be like,
exactly, without asking.
If I want you to protect me, like that's one thing. But if you're just protecting me to do so, that's going to do nothing but piss me off. Like I can take care of myself. Thank you.
And then especially if you're specifically asking them to stop and not do it, like which Aiel does often. Like they don't even have to change that about Perrin's character in the show, but if he does it in the show, it has a basis in this trauma that happened to him instead of it just being a toxic character trait that he has. It's because of this trauma that happened to him. So I like that change, and I hope they lean into it and play it up with the positive changes that they've made with them.
I think we've talked about that in a previous episode. Like just mental health was not something that was talked about in the 90s when he was first written. So Jordan wouldn't have had a basis for those kind of conversations. Like that was just not something in the forefront, and today it is. And so I think it's important to show.
And when I did have a chance to speak with Isabella, and she did elaborate on that a little bit. So if you want to see that, go after you're done with this video, go and check out that video, which is on the YouTubes in our interviews playlist.
Did you drool, Thom? Did you?
A little bit. A little bit. She's gorgeous. Oh God. And so much fun. Like engaging and just fun to talk to. Everyone honestly has been great so far. I mean, obviously they're all actors, but their enthusiasm for the project just really seems evident. But anyway, I digress.
Yes.
Let's we wanted to start there because that was pretty much the simplest of the characters to talk about, Perrin and these guys. Everyone else is a little we're done with them now. So we start out with whoops. All right. We start out with this really like honestly like a nice shot of Tar Valon from 10 years ago. Like I like this shot. Like it's a really cool picture. These are obviously the bridges that surround the island of Tar Valon. This is like another, you know what? We kind of get really these nice scenic shots of Tar Valon. We've had a lot of different ones. This is a new angle. Like we've gotten like basically from the perspective of Dragonmount looking at Tar Valon. We've gotten from the complete opposite side of Tar Valon looking at Tar Valon with Dragonmount in the background. And now we're kind of getting this shot which is very reminiscent of the end of the series, like stuff that happens in the harbors and things. Then we're in the terangrial storage room, and we have our Balefire terangrial, which we know is a Balefire terangrial for sure now, which we'll talk about later. And we see
the redstone door.
Yep. And I mean, we get a much better shot later on in the episode, but you know, we'll talk about that later. And it's not of that specific door, but I mean, even this shot is like a much better shot than that last one, but it's still pretty dark here. I do really like this door though, back here. This one. Look at that. It's a pretty awesome looking door. I
expect a top 10 doors of the season.
I started making a folder of doors. Don't worry. I started making them. And then I have to go back and do season 2 and season 1.
Yes.
I had some for season 2 that I saved because I was like, oh, that's a cool door. I wonder if I could maybe make that. Anyway, we can see a lot more detail on these. Really cool. I love they have like the twistedness for the twistedness of the thing.
I like all these carvings and stuff. Something I've missed from the show are the portal stones and like all the intricate carvings that they talk about on the portal stones. So I like that the sets are at least detailed and cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, we still could get portal stones in some way or another at some point, but yeah. All right. And obviously we have our cow coming out here, and then we see her charm bracelet.
Okay, so that's like a key.
In it, they had this image, which you can blatantly read, says Redstone Eelfin bracelet, always worn on right hand.
Very important.
Very important part of costume. So like the fact that they like this doesn't look like maybe the final product that she ends up wearing. Like it looks different than that. But the fact that they had that in the thing was kind of funny. I was like, that's a spoiler, but it does give me a little bit of fear because we were fan casting her as Cadsuane so much.
Yeah.
And now here's a reference to like a bunch of little charms on a bracelet. It's not a hairnet, but like I'm worrying that they may be combining somehow Cadsuane and Elida.
See, that could be really interesting though.
It could. But I'm worried about it, to be honest. Yeah. And we could talk about it a little bit more toward the end of the episode because there's some specific scenes at the end with her that made me feel like she might not go all the way Elida, like full book Elida, with the way she was reacting to the Siuan stuff.
Siuan's speech at the end. Yeah, I thought the same thing. She looked like she was buying in.
Yeah, she was getting moved right up until Alviarin jumped in.
Yep.
Speaking of,
there she is,
our girl who walked in on Elida yet again doing something. Like they're plotting, but Elida wasn't expecting her to be there in that moment. The only other things that we could see back here, don't know if this is a thing here or just an empty space. This is our flat disc, swirly disc terangrial. That's probably a dream terangrial. And then we have the cool door again in the background. She just looks gorgeous. I took a lot of pictures. Okay.
Oh.
This one was cool. So I just you could really see like the depth of the White Tower, like how big it is. So I'm thinking obviously this has got to be up toward the top of the.
Do we think that's like the big main tower that we see on the building? Yeah.
I think it's definitely the top of the spire for sure. I don't think it's like the majority of the spire, but I think it's the top portion of the spire, and then like the Amyrlin study and stuff is probably the tip top
up there. Yeah,
but like that's a lot of like balconies. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's at least 6 balconies above here.
You could probably fit most of the tower in there at this point.
Yeah. And they've 2, 3, 4, Aes Sedai per row there. And if they're all, and it looks like they're all filled, like that's a lot. You would probably assume as you go toward the top, it's, accepted and novices and
I'm sure it's by rank, the more powerful towards the bottom and the all the way up. Yep.
Oh yeah. The other really cool thing in this scene though is the shawls.
I know, I squealed. We finally see them. They're so larger than I expected. They're all very uniform, which is also a little bit different from the books, but I like it.
Well, yeah, I mean the general like cosplay consensus I've seen on the shawls is very similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference, and I noted it like throughout this entire scene, is the Aes Sedai seem to all be wearing different shades of the colors.
Uh-huh.
So like the brown Aes Sedai has 3 different shades of brown, and the blue and the greens over here, 3 different shades of green. We'll see in a minute. The blue, all of them are wearing different shades of red, all 3 of them, different shades. All 3 of the blues, different shades. Even these 2, like
but yeah.
When you see it in another lighting, you can tell that they're different. I'm not sure, like, if it's here, and you can see the 3 different greens too. They don't seem to be arrayed in a specific pattern. Like, it's not like lightest to darkest shade.
I wonder if that's just to give a nod to like the choice, because they talked about, you know, the choice in
how they always kind of choose to, you know, each one had their own little flair to it. The tassels are a thing. Like every single cosplay I've ever seen always has the tassels.
These are very long though.
Yeah, they are very, very long. But the idea, like the thing that the critique that everyone always had about the shawls was that they were impractical, which makes sense now, like especially when you see them here. I do like the addition of the flame on the chest here, and maybe in addition to or instead of the back. I don't remember if you see it on their backs as well, but I really like this flame of Tar Valon on the front a lot. Yeah, you see now here you can see their different tones. I went through the only Aes Sedai that I recognize that I think might have been in the hall, like in the Siuan scene, was this is the polka dot one. Another good, you know, we have a lot of more ear accoutrement here. And this is them all standing for Siuan at this point.
Yeah, what do you think caused the switch or like the late proclamation?
I'm not sure. So, you know, again, like my thought in these moments were, and this is again spoilers for many of the books. Alviarin, you know, we know in the books is a Black Ajah. Is she for sure Black Ajah in the show? We don't know for sure, but I'm gonna lean toward she's probably Black Ajah in the show as well. So I'm trying to think from like a Black Ajah or Shadow perspective here. What did they have to gain by putting Siuan in place as the Amyrlin? Because if she is Black Ajah, she literally had the choice of which one she wanted. She could have stood for Elida, and everyone that probably stood with her after her for Siuan probably would have stood with her for Elida, or like she did, she chose Siuan. So like, what did she have more to gain, or what did the Shadow have more to gain from putting Siuan in the Amyrlin Seat?
Well, to me, I think Siuan is maybe smarter. I don't know. Maybe they knew that she would carry out the search in a different way, because the Shadow always wanted the dragon. Like, they didn't want him just instantly dead. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. Like maybe they figured she would be manipulatable because she's or maybe they figured she'd be more malleable because she's young. She's more inexperienced. It would allow, you know, like if we just go by what we saw in the show and what we know from the books, like it allowed, obviously she allowed the Black Ajah to infiltrate the ranks of the Aes Sedai pretty highly. Like, you know, we had it, at least, what was it, like 5 or 6 sitters that were all Black Ajah. So like under Siuan's watch, that happened. And because they're not currently in the room here, like the ones that are Black Ajah in the beginning of season 1, they're not in the room right now, except for Alviarin and Leandrin. But Joya's not here, and Amiko isn't here, and all of the other ones are not here. Jane. So her being in the Amyrlin Seat allowed that to happen at the very least. So that's what I leaned toward, because that's all I could really think of. Like, what would the Black Ajah have to gain by choosing Siuan? You can kind of make out here, she's looking at a picture of Moiraine.
Oh, yeah. That's so cute. Sad. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I was, when I was watching like for the 47th time, I was like, what is she reading? So I was like, paused it and I tried to zoom in to see if I could see what she was reading. But then, yeah, you can clearly see that is a picture of Rosamund Pike. Like, she's just longingly, look at her. She's just like, very longingly staring at it, like probably knowing that she may never see her again at this point. And then we get a shot of, the Love Shack, Terangriel, and Liane here. Bombastic side eye, like, and then she marches off. But
I think she's so much more likable in the show than she was in the book.
Absolutely.
Like, you can tell in the show that she's not necessarily as, I don't know the term for it, straight-laced or uptight. She's trying to guide her here, and she's definitely her friend, which she was in the books too, but she was so formal in the books that it was obnoxious. Ah, yes. Letters.
Yeah. Interesting. There's
Is that a bird?
Yeah. Can't tell. Bird. Can't tell what that is. Maybe the Stone of Tear? Just this got like a big dome there. I don't know why there would be a bird atop it, though.
So the implication here is she is sending out letters of support for the Dragon Reborn.
For the Dragon Reborn, yeah. This is her announcing that the Tower is supporting Rand al'Thor as the Dragon Reborn. And their gripe with that is that, Siuan's announcing support of him, but not having control over him, and not even saying like, we have him, he's ours, like we're controlling him, don't worry, as this man who can channel, like whatever. And again, full book spoilers, but if we follow, we have two Black Ajah sister here, manipulating Elaida, which is pretty apt to the books. Like, this is where Elaida's real downfall begins. They feed into her narcissism and allow her to corrupt the Tower with her nonsense, which is really what puts it on a pretty bad footing toward the end of the series. And then, Rand's still dealing with his grief for Alcera.
Can Toe be paid to the dead? Or is that a forever, like, she's deceased? How does that?
It's a great question. So, like, I feel like there's two lines of thought here. I could hear Amis saying, you're a great fool. You can never pay Toe to the dead. You can never repay your Toe to the dead. They're dead. Like, you can never meet your Toe. But also at the same time, it's honorable to show that you're willing to pay the Toe, even though the person is dead, because that's how much you honored them and how much it means to you. So honestly, I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Do you think that it's good that he's trying to still, honor this Toe that he had to Alcera, or is it really just, him kind of being, like a self-serving thing? Like, he feels like he has to do it to make himself feel better. Because who's he really helping here? Do they really need help harvesting?
His own guilt. He's guilty for what he did.
Speaking of guilty people.
Ah, yes.
Great scene here. Moiraine is just great in the scene. Cameron Jack here, who plays Saml, is he does great, and I'm sad we might not see him anymore. Probably are not going to see him anymore. But he does great in this.
Hard to come back from.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Like, it would be pretty horrible if he was still alive, to tell you the truth. This is a great shot of Tanchico. Tanchico looks really cool, man.
That's honestly the nicest Tanchico has looked since we've seen it. It's the cleanest we've seen it in the daytime.
Yeah. We usually see it, it's like at night.
Yeah. It's kind of a dark and seedy place. So this looks really beautiful.
The hills of Tanchico looking pretty great in there in the background. Yeah. Very, very voluptuous. Lots of docks. Boats. I really like it. It does give a Tortuga feel. If you've ever been to like Disneyland or Disney World, when you go into the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, when you go through the big scene where the boat is and the cannon shoot at you, it looks a lot like this. Loving her hair. The distinct change between her hair throughout like the entire time she's been in Tanchico and then the end. I definitely feel there's a significance between her hair change. So like, I feel like this big frizzy, almost like, it's not really unkept, but it's like much less it's much less done up You know what I mean? I feel like there's not a lot of effort. Effort's the wrong word too. Yeah, it's less showy than that.
Right.
So like this is, I feel like, really kind of like a statement here. Like, you know, she's
trying to become one of the chosen here. Like, she's going to look her most powerful. Exactly. I think she's really caught up in the hunt, where we are in the episode right now. Like, she's caught up in what she needs to do to get to this.
That's fair. I was thinking more like this is Leandrin, and this is who she thinks she wants to be. That's the thought that I had when I saw her at the end of the episode versus how we've seen her throughout the episode, and then versus how we saw her at the White Tower. Like, her entire presentation of herself while she was pretending to be a red Ajah was a character that she's done her whole life, like ever since she was a child, because
I think she's so damaged she doesn't know who she wants to be.
I totally agree.
Her lie towards Nynaeve that she wished her son, he would have let the bastard drown her son, was absolutely false. Like, absolutely false.
That was her just trying to rationalize what she's going to do in that moment. Like, that was her trying to, because she thinks she wants to be a Forsaken. So, like, this is something a Forsaken would say.
Because she gets here, if she gets to what she believes the Forsaken is, I think she believes there is going to be no more pain. She's going to have so much control and so much power that somehow that's going to erase the tragedy that was the rest of her life. And it's not accurate. It's not how that works.
Yeah. In these scenes with Nynaeve, like, it seems like she's trying really hard to be the villain. Like, you know, like,
look at her chin up. She's absolutely. I think she knows that Nynaeve knows her. Like, their time together made an impression on her. I don't think this was easy for her.
No. And, this is when she says, we get the line, Nynaeve gives the line, no woman can walk in the shadow so long that they cannot return to the light, which was beautiful that we got it. Sad that, we still didn't get the Intar scene because it's my favorite scene in the books. But this was nice. Though she does laugh in her face because of it. Her I'm gonna wrap the chain around you weave was pretty cool. I liked it. And then shooting her into the water was a nice little addition. This is very reminiscent of the digital book cover art. So obviously Lan isn't there in this scene, but like the angle of her face and just the lighting of it in this part, really, it made me, like, when I saw this, I instantaneously thought of the book cover art.
Really?
So that's just, it really reminded me of this a lot. And I liked that little bit there. But this, she did great. I can only imagine. I wish I got to talk to Zoe after having seen this episode, because like I would love to have been able to talk to her a little bit more about, like the physicality of doing this. Because I can only imagine, like, she's under there for a while. She's definitely underwater. This is not fake.
Yep. And I like the call to how her block was broken in the books too. I always liked that scene a lot, but this was nice.
Yeah, and this was her using like her inner turmoil that she has, and like the things that her experiences to break the block, more than just like, being attacked by Moghedien and getting angry, or wanting to save Lan, or any of the other baggage that came with what happened in the book. This is more, she had to look inside of herself and do, find the reason herself, which she did pretty well. And there it is.
Oh, just gut-wrenching.
Yeah. And yeah, there's our girl. There she is. Awesome freaking weave. Like the visual of this was just so cool. Obviously, also kind of a little bit of a reference to parting the Red Sea a little bit there. It's a good thing that this like entrance has stairs going down to the floor there. It's good that that's there. Though it is a cool little bit to add for, like, an ocean faring peoples, and like, their entrance to the castle. It's a cool little thing. But yeah, awesome freaking scene. I loved this, like the way she snaps her arms down here. and like drops it was just really cool. And then like she's like,
yeah,
oh yeah, she's delighted, but then like she's delighted about the channeling, and like she can probably sense the power now the whole time, and she realizes that she couldn't before, but then she's like, oh yeah, I forgot about the bracelet. All right, so back to you know, whatever we were, like 10 minutes into the into episode 1. I mean 10 minutes like into the last episode here, we see them playing with the ter'angreal. Again, gorgeous costuming is amazing. Mogideon being her super creeper self, coming in with the bracelet. Oh wait,
hey, this is the least creepy she has appeared on screen since we've seen her.
Yeah,
like really,
except
look
for
at her, she's almost normal.
True, but just the way she kept saying mistress over and over again was like, she finds a way to be creepy. And then, of course, great bit of comedy. Yeah, there's our comedy.
Of course.
What were they called?
What does he say? Like, where's the fork? Why can't they be a fork?
Why can't there be a fork? Yeah. The Sasura, that's what they're called, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the Sursa. Sasura is the dance. The Sursa are the chopsticks. Yeah. Sasura is the body dance that the Saldeans know.
He needs your snack chopsticks there.
That's true. I don't know where they are. But I'm good with regular chopsticks too. Look at his face. Look how angry he is.
So annoying.
And then look at her. She's like, great little bit of comedy there. She makes such a great face. And then Matt's like, this is good. Oh, this is definitely memeable right here.
Mm-hmm.
This shot right there. That's definitely memeable. We only get a shot of these guys like real quick. These are the guards inside the Panarch's palace. They look pretty cool though. I like their costumes.
Yeah, they just kind of gloss over that whole part. Like, to people who've not read the books, they're probably a little bit confused about where they are. Yeah. I thought about that.
The Panarch, Amathera, especially because Panarch
has not invited you. Yeah.
Yeah, and Panarch is not like a normal title that you would hear regularly. So like, you know, people just watching the show that, you know, aren't up to date on their, you know, obscure royalty titles, you know, like may have no idea what a Panarch is and why they would have a palace.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
but that's fine. We got it.
Yeah. I also like. I really like this bit of storytelling where it's like she assumes she knows what she's like.
Oh yeah.
Like she knows what she's looking for in that the necklace looks like, you know, the bracelet or the collar. She assumes that she knows what she's looking for in that the collar looks like this. And I like that. It's a really good bit of storytelling and a way to like, she didn't do any investigating. She thought she had all of the information and then just kept going. She didn't
not see anyone get collared with the Shanshan because she just kind of drops them off and runs, right?
Yeah, no, she
only saw the collars once they were.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All of the information she has is the collar looks like that. She's never seen one get taken off or put on that we've seen. Great scene. You know, the tat-tat-tat between the two of them is great. Rand does get the better of her here and, you know, provokes her. He's
learned from her a little bit.
Yeah.
The manipulation and how he knows now what gets to her and what pushes her buttons.
Also, I think he may already be hearing Lucerne, and we as the viewers don't know that yet. Like there is a faint
his face at the end of the episode. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's a faint Ilyena that people say that they could hear, and I think I could hear too. Honestly, when I went back and re-listened to it 100 times when he's healing Alcera, and I think he may already be hearing Lucerne. So I think Lucerne may have given him a little bit of help here. Like whether he fully understands that or not, like maybe he doesn't notice that it's another voice in his head. Maybe he just thinks he's having the thoughts or whatever right now. But yeah. And then this is interesting. So I wanted to definitely talk about this. She seems to be using the true power. Like we see her do another similar thing like later on and clearly see the saw in her eyes at the end of the episode when she does this again. So what are your thoughts on that?
But she's in his dream right now, right? Like they're not in Tellerand Riode. They're in his dream.
We
don't know because we don't. Yeah.
I would assume yes, they are in his dream.
I don't know. To me, this was her losing complete control. Like this was her just like.
And then she jumped to the true power, to the Dark One's power.
Yeah, her rage got the better of her. I think that's always been who she is like she has a lot of pent up rage.
I like
like jealousy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's literally what he says. You're jealous and cruel. Like, that's why I'm going to leave. That's why Luthera left you. And that's why I'm going to leave you.
That's why I'm going to leave you. Yep.
I love how it looks very much similar to the Taint, and we'll see that later when they kind of switch back and forth between the Moiraine and Lanfear and Rand channeling the fight and him making it rain. But I like it. I like the way it looks. I
think this is the end, at least for now, of the part of her that loved him, Luthera.
And anything that's human, probably.
Anything that's human. Yeah, no, I think this is, wow, that's wicked. Yeah. Slowing down like that, that's
shot right there. Like, she really does look crazy. And then our girl pops in and blasts her out.
So what do you think would have happened had she not appeared right here? Like, what was going to be the end result of what was happening right there?
I don't know. Like, she could have, she might have been trying to shield him and take him, in the world of dreams. Like, she could have been trying to kill him. There's all kinds of that she can do. And with the true power, we don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, it functions similarly to the one power, but so differently. And then, we don't know what rules they're following in the show. For sure.
True.
It would have been bad. It's safe to say it definitely would have been bad for Rand. And they were all prepared because they thought, surely she's gonna jump in. Yeah, get a great shot here. I love how Madeleine takes out her knife too.
Yeah,
she can't channel. She just pulls out her little belt knife. She ain't going nowhere. She's standing her ground. If frickin' the Forsaken Lanfear shows up, we get our confirmation. She does show up, Lanfear, but she shows up in a way that we weren't expecting, and that is to confirm on screen that Melindra is in fact a Darkfriend.
Yep.
And owes her something apparently, which is interesting.
She has to.
Then we go back to Tanchico. So back to Tanchico. Our team is getting ready to do their excursion to the Panarch's palace, and I love Thom in all of these scenes. Like, he plays like their conscience, but also like a worried dad often.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, he's great in these scenes. And thankfully, they don't need to deal with any of the guards. Everything's been dealt with.
Gosh, this episode is just like.
I know. So we're in Tanchico for about a minute, and then we're back to the Aiel Waste in, I'm guessing, Cold Rock's Hold after everyone left for Alcair Dal. And
my least favorite part coming up right here.
Oh yeah. I'll warn you before I get to the shots that are too gory. We don't really see it in this one yet, but I got some pretty bad ones for later. I'll give everyone a warning before I pull them up. Don't worry. But I find it a little odd that they left Saml behind. Like we'll just leave the Forsaken sitting in this cave. Like,
he'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was kind of like dumb.
Boop. She appears.
Yeah, she just is there looking like a creeper still. You can have me, Saml. You're gonna help me by letting me figure out how to kill another one of the chosen. And there it is. She is so creepy. Like, I'm very curious if this was like a director's note or if she pulled like the creepy tongue thing on her own, because it is so effective. Oh yeah, I want to
nightmares.
I want to talk to her so bad. Like, I want to talk to her so bad. Like, where did you just like, where did this character come from? Like, your portrayal, because it's genius, but it's also terrifying. So this is the most we see of Saml's torture.
See, that bothers me less than her tongue thing. Like, it's fine. You can just, hang him up by his veins or whatever she's doing there. But
yeah, she pulls out like all of his
the tongue is awful. And favorite hat is back.
The hat is back. Yeah, I had to make sure I got a shot of the hat for you. And Melindra's listening in there to Moiraine and Lan talking about Lanfear, which was interesting. And just the sheer number of Aiel. Like, I tried to get a couple of good images of that, but there's a lot. I don't remember the other wise ones' names that were with her, but I'm guessing that's who this is going to end up being, is the other wise ones that are with Savannah. And there she is, looking pretty freaking awesome, to be honest. Her outfit later is just absolutely stunning. And yeah. we get the application of the dragons onto Couladin.
Couladin.
Elaida leaning right into her character of, ostentation.
Is that the other bracelet there in the center that we see in the picture? Like scroll up from where her fingers are on top of that. No. Okay. It just kind of looks like it.
Yeah. It's the top of the box.
Yeah.
Everything very red.
Of course.
She runs with that.
She is who she is.
Yeah. Looking great though, to be honest. Like, I hate her, but looking great. And this is her getting the message of Elaida sent 8 sisters out of the tower, 8 red sisters. So they got to go.
Enough to gentle a man.
Yeah. And then we're back to Tanchico again with these weird child statues. I was very weirded out by that. I don't understand the statues at all. It's very weird.
I mean,
I don't remember.
Everything in this palace, actually in this city, is just a little bit off, a little bit creepy.
Yeah, like I don't remember there being a reference to these weird child statues in the books, but like, yeah, I don't know. They're weird. Yeah, they're definitely weird. There's some better shots of like, here's one that looks like it has the pacifier in its mouth, like the Shanshan pacifier almost.
Or some sort of tag at least.
And also like this weird collar piece that could be, I don't know, man. It's very weird. I have to go back and reread the Tanchico stuff to see if there's any reference to these weird statues. Here's I'm pretty sure this is the only reference we're going to get to the Mercedes symbol.
Yeah.
I was hoping for, if not the Mercedes symbol reference, but like something that was obviously not of that age, like in the background. I haven't done like a full comb through of them all. I got a ton of screenshots of this room, like any different angle that we had. I got a screenshot of it. So like we can do a little bit of picking as we go through, but I think this might be the only reference to it that we get. There's another shot when they go inside the room for like a half a second.
Yuck. It looks bloody.
I think that's a close-up of the door as Matt shuts it.
It's bloody. It
is. There's a dead guard right outside of it. All right. So again, really not much here. A lot of bones, a lot of animal bones.
True to the books. There's a lot of...
This is interesting though. There was like a glowing green thing here. I couldn't really make out what it was in the episode or in this picture, but like that's the only time we see it. There's the other shot of the Mercedes symbol. More bones in the background, papers. We don't really see anything of note. A boar skull, a saber-toothed tiger skull, which is pretty cool. You get a bear back there. Another skull of some kind. I don't know what this is. Like, it looks like a dragon almost. Like, I don't...
It's got the elongated nose almost like a giraffe, but the teeth are very sharp.
Yeah, that is not a giraffe tooth. No. So I have no... And it's got these flat teeth in the back too, like a chewing, like a horse or like a dinosaur. I think this might be a reference to a dinosaur skull. Because we do see dinosaur bones in the book. So I think like maybe someone that knows dinosaur skulls can tell us if this is a dinosaur skull. But I think that's what this is a reference to at the very least. Though, again, you get to see some nice carved wall stuff like, you were talking about before. Matt playing with stuff, which is probably not smart.
That's a really dumb idea. Yeah, very Matt thing to do. Well, like walking straight into the door frame.
Yeah, just poking stuff. And walking straight into the door frame. So this exchange between Thom and Elaine is interesting. I don't know if they're gonna try to like make it that Thom is like her dad or something, but they, her being like, "Who are you?"
Yeah,
just makes it feel like they're trying to build more than like, "Oh, I was your mom's ex-boyfriend that just kind of played at being your dad for a little while." But I don't know. It just felt more than that. Like it's going to be like they're trying to set up more than that. And I really hope they continue having him in throughout the season because I really love Alexander Willem in this role a lot.
Yeah, he's great. He's been wonderful. I liked that she explained delving there too.
Just like, randomly
more about the weaves. Yeah.
We had the delving stuff more in book 2, with the Shanshan, because they made like Egwene was like had the talent or whatever for that. But yeah, at least, including it here and keeping it in the canon is good. And then shows up Jane and we get to see Balefire.
Seems a little bit inept with the Balefire rod. Doesn't quite seem like she knows what she's doing.
I like at least this is what Balefire looks like when it comes out of this rod. It may not be what Balefire looks like when a person channels it, but I like it. Like I like that. First of all, I mean, I like purple, so it made me happy.
Same.
But it definitely made me think of like Ghostbusters, like when she was like,
yeah, a little bit,
like Egon and stuff when they're like spraying and they can't
especially
hold it
because
and
she
like
can't control it.
yeah. Definitely made me think Ghostbusters, especially the next time she uses it.
But also, what a badass that Elaine can control it.
Oh yeah,
so it definitely probably has to do with your strength in the one power. We don't know how strong Jane, that's her name, Jane is, but
so they're chasing. She's chasing Thom and Elaine, and they have this very nice exchange of him like being like, I'm basically gonna go die for you, but also warning her about Gabriel, like that person doesn't exist.
He doesn't exist. He's not real. Well, and then that he pulls out that he's a Forsaken.
Yeah,
like the only person who could do that is a Forsaken.
So like Thom knowing that seems a little, I don't know. Like obviously Thom was always like a source of information. He always seemed more knowledgeable than like he should be in the books, and he always had an answer for things. Like there was very few times where Thom was like, I don't know, or like I can't figure it out. Like he always had an answer for things, but him instantly being like, oh, only the Forsaken can do that felt odd here. Like why would he know? Why would just some non-channeling Gleeman know how these weaves work and things? I don't know, especially because compulsion isn't like a thing that they're supposed to do. But Thom, knowing Thom's backstory from the books, he may have looked into like negative aspects of Aes Sedai. So who knows? But this was great. Like I loved
very Wild West.
Yeah. And him getting ready to throw. This is just a great shot.
You first.
Yeah, such a good shot too. Like I love this shot of him with the dagger.
I love that he still has his knives. That was such a prominent feature of who he was in the books.
Like specifically right here, he's like, oh
God. Yeah.
And then Elaine comes in, catches the rod. I love how she like, they've been leaning into, and especially because Thom mentioned moments ago, you used to take apart all the clocks to see how they worked. Like basically telling us Elaine is one of those types of people that just can click with things like that. So, she saw Jane use it like twice now. So yeah, she's got to figure it out, but it looks really cool when she uses it. And then I loved this so much, like this depiction of like what happens with the Balefire. Like I never really thought about it.
Yeah, and they did a really nice job of showing how it kind of erases what that person has done, like up to a point. Like they show the ceiling being repaired, her entity, spirit, whatever was back behind her with the rod. Yeah, no, this was great.
So like, and actually you could hear her. Hold on. You can actually, you could hear her in that moment. The lines that she spoke when she was doing, when she initially shot the Balefire here, you could hear it going backwards in that scene, which was pretty cool. So I like in the books, I always imagined like, you would see the things repair themselves, but I never thought about seeing like this like ghostly image of the person being like going through it. Like I like that.
Well, and a good way to distinguish it from the other magical things that have happened, like how people disappear in Telenria, there's a lot of magic taking place in this season, and it's distinct. It's unique.
Yeah. And it's great to see because like often, with a lot of these fantasy shows, we barely see any magic. So being able to see magic like on screen is really nice. All right. So then we're back to Matt, and obviously he's the one who's going to touch things. He's the one that's always going to touch the thing. He's going to put the helmet on. He's going to press the button. He's going to pull the lever. He's going to do the thing.
No red button is safe with Matt.
No. The only other thing in this scene that caught my eye a lot, and I just want to point it out, is whatever this is. Only because it's just so colorful amongst everything else. The only two things with a lot of color in this scene are the red doorway and whatever the hell this blue thing is.
It's a peacock. So, I don't know what it is.
It could be. I don't know. It looks almost like, now that I zoomed in, like a blue wig with a top knot, but I don't know.
Interesting.
Anyway, Matt, no, don't touch the doorway. I've seen that before. So I did pause on all of the bits that we see. But yeah, we see a lot of bits here before we get into the room, which is still... Here's a nice shot of where we can actually see the, carvings and stuff on the doorway. And our first look at an eelfin. I want to point out this real quick.
His hooves.
They're not hooves. Like, you'll see it in a second. The shoes are insane.
Oh, are they the ones without the heel that are?
They do not. Yeah, they don't have a heel. And I actually spoke to Robert Strains, which at this point you probably should be able to see the video, the interview on YouTube by now. But 7 inches. 7 inch, not heels.
Toes,
I guess.
Toes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy. That's a lot of toe.
That's a lot of toe.
You get it? It means 2 things. Yeah. Anyway, Robert Strange as...
Did you get to talk about how much of this was practical effect? And
all of it.
It's all practical.
All practical effect.
Wow.
So if you know what flocking is...
Oh, yeah.
That's how they laid every exposed piece of body that he has with fur.
How long was he in hair and makeup?
Hours. He said they would first they painted his body with a black sticky paint, and then they flocked all of the hair onto his body, which is basically like
prosthetics. So to like,
and the teeth.
Oh wow!
Yep.
Commitment, my friend. That's wonderful.
Yeah, really good. His portrayal here was great. He also the vocal things were all him. So the reason why the choices that he made in the vocal things were based off of the sounds that foxes make. Like, he looked into sounds that foxes make, like the yipping and the laughing and the breathing, and he kind of just worked that into his portrayal, and they loved it. I loved it. Crazy. I think it's great.
So is the implication here this is all skin that he's wearing? Like, it almost looks like eye holes.
I would say yes.
Ugh.
Yeah, I would say yes. I like the 2 daggers too that he's got.
Mm-hmm.
I love the whole outfit. The whole outfit is just great, and it almost looks like he's. And I mentioned this in the interview. They're creepy.
They're very creepy.
They're otherworldly. But
it's almost alien, but
seductive, almost a little bit, like alluring, like drawing you in. Like the way he moves and stuff. Just it felt alluring to me. And when I mentioned that in the interview, he was like, well, I'm glad you picked up on that, because we wanted to really put that subtly in, like that. Because these people are like these beings are supposed to entice you into giving them whatever it is that the sustenance that they get from you is. And like that I tried to kind of put that in there. And he's like, I'm glad you picked up on that. And I was like, well, I felt it, because wow. Also though, like it felt like he was imitating motion, like movements and patterns that he thought would make him look less alien, but you could tell he was almost like pretending. Yeah. He also mentioned that they recorded a bunch of they asked him, which line did you want to be in the old tongue in this scene? And this is the one that he picked, but they tried a bunch of different ones. So he said they actually recorded this scene a lot. And
with different pieces of it being old tongue. Yeah.
And this is the one they landed on. This is the one that he liked the most. He said basically as soon as he got off camera, he would be like, his legs would be like, because he couldn't stay.
Could you imagine what that would do to your hamstrings and your calves and everything else? That's crazy.
Yeah. He said the stunt team would have a pole like on a stand that they would bring in to hold so that they could hold him.
Wow.
So that he could like take some weight off his legs. And when he was standing up on the plinth here, he had like a hidden wire to take some of his weight off his legs.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was just so difficult. But man, it's
gorgeous. I mean, it looks
absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. But yeah, no, all practical. 100% practical, which is just, I love. And obviously Min very worried.
Oh my damn.
Yeah. And I love this scene here particularly because Liandrin, in her, ignorance looking for this collar, literally touches it.
Right
She's
there.
literally touching it.
Well, and I thought it was interesting. She says, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it.
Yeah. She mentions that they play like an audio trigger out when she has both bracelets on as she starts to get to that room. So we know that they feed on emotion, but also they feed on the one power. And they seem to, particularly in the books, like feeding on Matt because of his Tavaran nature.
Yeah.
And his like closeness to the pattern, like they gained more sustenance from him, but it was also like dangerous that he was there, and like, you know, it sent them on edge almost. So as the scene progresses, you can really see that in him. Like he starts to get more and more like
almost intoxicated by it.
Yeah, exactly. He's walking up to him, constantly smelling and breathing in.
The more he gets of him, like the harder it is for him to restrain himself. But so what did he gain here? He can't be touched by the one power.
Here we go.
Yeah, nuts. Absolute insanity.
Freaking crazy. Oh, and he you got to go and see it, but he has a really funny little tidbit that he shares about these boots, but yeah, you got to go check out the video for that. Anyway, yeah, so this is a great shot. Yeah, what does he get? So he gets
can't be touched by the one power because he gets his little
medallion. And he also asks to remove
fix him. It's a very
but he the eelfin mentions that he has memories in his head that are not his.
Yeah.
So I go back to my theory from season 2 when I specifically said I think Ishamael is compelling him and none of this is real, and you know, he's compelling him and manipulating him with the drugs and whatever that drink is.
Yeah.
And none of that is real. And this isn't his memories. And everyone was like, nah, this is going to be his memories. They're just bad at storytelling and they're ruining it. And no, it's literally exactly what I said it was, probably.
Yep.
Like he said, these are not your memories. So that period, like the elfin knows, like he knows.
Mm-hmm.
So him telling Matt, these are not your memories in this moment, I feel like confirms my theory on that being planted in his head by Ishamael, especially it being so soon after Thom explains to Elaine how the Forsaken implanted memories in her head. So anyway, you guys let me know if you think I'm right or not in the comments.
And then, of course, last but not least, he gets out. Just isn't specific about that.
Yeah, he didn't set a price.
Also, are those human spines on his back? Can you go back?
Yes, they are. That is a vertebrae. That is a full, two
of them
human spines on his back. It looks like.
Yummy.
So cool, man. I love the costuming in this show. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and horrible at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, look at that face. Like, this would be my face if I was looking at that. Look at this face. Sorry. Look at this face. Look at it. Ah, God. Yeah, there it is. He's like, oh, poop. He pooped.
Oh, I would have already soiled myself if I were there.
Look at that. This is them. That's him getting the price ready. This is just another good shot here. And you can see the height difference. Like, oh, so cool. I can't wait to see the Aiel fin. This is just a good close-up. I don't care if you leave this in or not, but I was just checking it out. Yeah, it looks definitely skinny, like skin. Look at him sniffing Matt. It's just shouting at him. I don't know why. I really want to meme, like, cut this picture in half and have Matt's face on one side and then that face on the other side. But like the closer one, like that one on the other side. So I just feel like that would be funny.
Just let me out of here.
Yeah, this was creepy. I don't know if this is special effects or if Donald can just like,
I don't know,
make his neck blow up like one of them weird frogs. I don't know.
That's terrifying.
And here he is, 1 second later, hanging out there with his
shot of the medallion there.
Yeah, we got a good shot of the medallion. We get a bunch of those. Yeah. We only get one shot where we can see what probably is 100% Ashendari.
Oh no!
And again, to everyone that was saying, "Oh, the Ashendari, the dagger tied to the pole." No, it wasn't. It wasn't, and it's exactly like I said that it wasn't. It's not going to be Ashendari. It was just a reference to him being able to fight with a freaking pole arm with a knife tied to the end of it. but this is the only shot of it that we get. But it definitely looks like a
Oh
spear.
no, that's it. Yep. That's it.
They just don't show it to us right now because they want to keep us on that damn line.
They want to torture us.
Which I support. I would totally do it too.
The way this season ends, like, I can't. I will riot. I need a season 4. Someone's gonna have to hold my hand and talk me through it if it doesn't happen. It's a dog.
It does. It looks like a doll. It looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like a troll doll.
Well, no, like, look, it's little, like, I almost see like a little head. I don't know.
And arms, like right here.
I don't know.
Like a little, like it's squat almost. It looks like a troll.
It's one of those little dog things.
And we have our Black Ajah sister there with another dinosaur.
Like her head is coming out of a dinosaur, or she's wearing a dinosaur head.
Yeah, which would be cool. Not gonna lie. Here's a good shot of it. That's a cool looking freaking dinosaur. Cow skull in the background. Matt dies, and then there she is. There's our girl.
You're gonna get him.
Yeah, this scene also fully reinforces my Eminem theory of Matt and Min getting together.
Yeah.
Look, just here, watch. Like, look at her. Look at the fear and desperation on her face as
I
she
would
tries.
feel that way if that were my best friend on the ground.
I don't know if they're best friends. I don't know. But then how
he gives her permission to kiss him, and she
exactly. Yeah. Not in this moment. I think they're still teasing us with it. But like, I feel like they wouldn't have had him say that. I feel like it would have seemed more playful in the way that he said it. I feel like it was less, the way he said it wasn't playful. Like it was more like an invitation than it was him being playful in that moment. But it could go either way. And then how happy she was when she, got him back. And there's the good shot of the medallion. I like it. I think it looks cool. Simplistic, but still pretty cool looking. And, the horrible bruising that's on Matt's neck.
It's that same kind of, like metallic. Go back to that other photo. That like metallic look that almost looks power wrought, like from other things that we've seen that are made from the one power. It has that very distinct.
Let me pull up
shine to it.
Yeah, totally agree. Yes, I definitely can see that. I didn't even think of that before, but yeah, it furthers our thought that we had where it was like, these look power wrought. So we have that. And then the other thing where we mentioned it was not Janduin, but I forgot what his name is, but Rand's the first person to go into the glass columns here when one of Rand's ancestors. This is that spear that he has in that moment.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's called burnished or whatever the name is for it, but it has that
sheen on the metal.
But it's like dull, but also very shiny. I don't know.
Yeah, especially the blade too looks it too. Like you can really see it here. Like it just does not look like it's a normal metal. Especially like this is something that he's fought with. So the fact that it's not dinged up or dirty or whatever, it feels power wrought. And similarly does and we know that this is definitely not normally created. Maybe not power wrought, because who knows what goes on in the freaking Finn world. But yeah. All right. And then we're nearing the end. He's meditating. He's got looks like he's got like a little wakizashi too. Like if anyone knows, he's got a small, it's not just a knife. It looks bigger than a knife. Like if you look at the size of the blade, it's like half with its handle. It's like half the size of the katana. It's pretty big. It's bigger than just a knife. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And this is also a nice little nod to the kind of prayer or meditation that he did in season 1. He has the bowl with the water. And when Daniel Henney was asked about it, he said that this is like a nod to some bits of his Korean culture, like this prayer or meditation ceremony that he does here, which I like. I like when the character or the actors include little bits like that just add flavor to something that the characters already do.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's our girl sneaking. He knew the whole time she was coming, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And I like that she added the dot, the Malkir, like key. It's like a reference to the Kisane that they have. Yeah. Her armor looks really cool too. Just noticed that. Anyway. So this scene has a pretty big implication on and change from the way Dark Friends function in the Wheel of Time. And honestly, I like it. Like, I like this better than just like it. It's like bigger or like more important Dark Friends. I could see like this is the equivalent of going to Sheol Ghul and swearing your oaths directly to the Dark One and just being like, oh yeah, I'm a Dark Friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the more important or bigger or higher ranking or whatever you want to say Dark Friends, because we know there's a ranking amongst them. Like, that's evident in the books. Will have this kind of failsafe built into them almost, where it's if you break your dark oaths,
you're gone.
Yeah. And you know, like, I kind of like
it. I think her story, like, how does she owe something to Lanfear? Like, where did that? She clearly was tied pretty tight.
Yeah, like, you must gain something metaphysically from this, like, or why do it? You know? So I'm guessing maybe Lanfear facilitated this binding. Yep. So what does she gain from it? Who knows? Like, it could be heightened, you know, healing factor or something. Who knows? Like, you know, so some sort of watered down version of what the Forsaken get, maybe. But I feel like there really does need to be some sort of metaphysical tie, benefit to the people who do this. But I like the fact that there is some sort of tie and like consequence from breaking your dark oaths.
I wonder if we would ever see something similar in Fane, if we see him in Padden Fane, if we see him, like, would his demise look the same? Yeah. Although maybe not, because he may never give up on his, you know. Yeah,
who knows?
Darkness.
And he, you know, he still has to go. I'm still thinking we may get a Shadow Logoth scene with him.
Okay.
All right, then we're here. So
the conversation.
Yeah, we have a nice conversation. So let me get to just the two of them looking at each other real quick so that we can. We have the two of them on the screen. Okay. So yeah, again, another conversation I feel like I wish the characters had in the books. I thought this was beautiful. I thought it was great. The frankness that the two of them have with each other.
She's very real, and I don't think it's just like the Aes Sedai can't lie. She's like, no. Make no mistake, like, I would only let you go to the one battle if I thought you were going there to win. Like, I'm ready to take you out myself if you're not.
I was the knife at your throat the whole time. It was a great line. And then Galena and the Red Sisters, not a warder present, duping our girl Verin. And then, you know, these are the Siuan loyalists here, we know.
Do we know any of the others or just Verin?
I didn't recognize any of the others at all. Like, we can only see really that one and that one. The other one is too far back to even make out an Ajah, to tell you the truth. But yeah, we have a yellow and a blue, it looks like. But yeah, no, I couldn't tell any of the other ones. And there's even another person over here. And
we assume it's at least 8, maybe. Like, when they send the same number.
Siuan says, grab all of the most loyal sisters and go get them.
The second she said that, I was like, bad idea.
Yeah, I was like, that's exactly what she wants.
Okay.
I was go ahead. No, you go.
I was just gonna say, do these spears remind you of anything? I don't know if we've talked about this before.
They look like the Romulan spaceships from Star Trek a little bit.
Well, maybe it's because I'm from Kansas, but they remind me of the spears of the guards in the Wizard of Oz, like who guard like the Wicked Witch of the West. A little bit. That's what I thought of when they walked up there. Yeah, it was the curve on the bottom, and then
so these are the spears from the Wizard of Oz. This is actually an image from the Antiques Roadshow. Someone had 2 of them from the set, and they were selling them, but you can't really see it in this image. But they do have even like little dangly bits like right in this area too.
Yep.
Which is similar to the these spears. So yeah, I definitely reminiscent. This is just odd that these 2 guardsmen like did this though. Like, I don't know. I felt Elida already has guardsmen that are loyal to her.
Yeah.
Though at this point, she's not the Amyrlin anymore, so maybe that's maybe
I also like there was a female guardsmen there.
Oh yes, one of them is female. Yep.
There's one of the women. As someone who used to role play as a warder on the old Dragonmount forums as a female, that was I liked that.
Yeah, I'm glad that they haven't just kept them strictly in one direction. And the bare minimum here, there's not a single person from the blue, obviously. There's only one brown sister. Looks like there's 2 green.
What's that right behind her? What's the Ajah right?
I was trying to...
Oh, no, I guess that was Leanne I was seeing right behind her.
Yeah, that was Leanne. Yeah, that's Leanne. That's behind her. So there's no one in these chairs, which I think might have been the gray.
Blue. Oh,
no, no, that is blue. No, it's blue. You're right, it's blue. It looks like all the white sisters were there.
Well, of course they are.
Two yellows and all the reds, obviously.
Which is interesting. But...
Yeah. This way that they stilled her, though, was very
literally going inside of her with like barbed arrows to rip the power out of her body.
Yeah. Cut it out. They always talk of it like a cut or a wound, and that's a pretty good visual representation of that. Felt very bad for her though.
She's so happy.
So insane. And then
so childish too.
Like she's crazy. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's nuts.
This bit though, when she was like, I don't play well with others, like it felt raw. You know what I mean? Like it felt like she was like telling her, like, you know what? I like the cut of your jib, but I don't play well with others. And then, you know, her being like, I don't either. And then she's like, so weird. Okay. So here, this is the least gruesome out of them. I'll give everyone a heads up now. They're pretty gruesome. I will give you a full warning before we get to the bad ones, though. There's one particular bad one. So I'm not sure what it is. Like, is it like she did something with his blood, or is it like bits of his circulatory system or muscles?
I thought it was like I took it as like veining. Yeah, that's like his veining and his muscles that she's just pulled and stretched, and she's pulled every
she's an artist.
Yeah.
Definitely an artist.
But again, this bothers me less than when she goes and licks her lip. I don't know. It's just it's gory, but it's not disgusting.
You mean
that? Yep, that's the one.
That's the one right there. Okay. This was just double checking. All right. I love this Lanfear costume. Again, gorgeous. This is Lanfear leaning fully into her Forsaken form. Oh, wait. Whoops. And Ravine here, like, gets humbled where she's like, you know, she came after the weakest for us, and you're next because you're weaker than me, mother. And like he acknowledges that, which is interesting. Okay, so this next one is pretty bad. So if you don't want to see super gory, just close your eyes for a second. But it's pretty bad. All right, here we go. Damn.
Yeah, no, it's real gross.
It's damn. Okay, now it's gone. Now you're good.
Very moist.
Yeah, he was very moist. Like the practical effects in that scene, in that shot, and like just the stuff that that I'm sure Davina Lamont had to put effort into. Like, well done. Just a great scene between the two of them, and the way they're playing off each other. The way Lanfear is toying with Ravine, and Ravine is toying with Lanfear, but they're still trying to make this truce. Do you think it's going to hold out? I don't know.
No, absolutely not.
And then we're in Al-Khair-Dal. Al-Khair-Dal looks awesome.
Yeah.
Again, another confirmation. We only have 8
clans.
We get a look at a couple of the other clan chiefs. Guy looks a little young to be a clan chief. But...
Savannah's outfit here.
Oh my God. We get some better shots of it, but this is, she's wearing like all of her stuff has a lot of animals in it. Like she's got porcupine quills, and this is some sort of
snake.
I don't know, or a fish. I don't know.
Ooh, could be fish. Yeah.
Like these are definitely porcupine quills, and this looks reptilian up here.
Oh, for sure.
I have no idea, man. It's so weird looking. Really cool though. And then Couladin looking like a dude bro.
Just looks he's just kind of douchey. I feel like the first question Rand asks him, it's just like duh. Yeah. I'd be big strong man. We do kill.
Pretty much. And then here's a good shot. You know, see a lot of how many Aiel are there. There's a better one, like an aerial shot of them that we can really see. looking gorgeous still. Very different again in their like armor and their
based on the different
like,
plan, you can tell the difference.
Very different than ones that we've seen.
And this was close to the books. I mean, Rand comes out and tells them who they are. Who they were, I guess. Where
the last time there was a big group of Aiel in a dome of the one power, it didn't end well for them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, him in this scene is just great. Yosha's acting is just absolutely phenomenal this season.
He's always been good, but yeah, he's really come into his own, and they did such a good job in this scene of his sheer power and control. And he's not loud. He's not, he is speaking the truth and is like fully in charge right here. But like very simply, it shows what a good leader he is. And this is where I think he's hearing Lews Therin. Like just the way that he handles himself seems very royal. Like he's had a lot of training to speak this way.
There's a hand on the rudder guiding him here. Great shot of all the Aiel too.
Yeah.
And then, we're back here. I have a lot of questions, like obviously, so everyone's looking gorgeous. There's our two greens again. The fight is really cool. I got some really cool shots, but like this one's fun. This is right as she gets hit. I had to freeze frame it, but it was fun.
Well, and like all three of them, Siuan and Rand and Moiraine, who we are bouncing back and forth, are all essentially like in a battle for their lives right here. Like, do you think if the Aiel decide that Rand is not the Karakarn, that he's making it out of there alive?
No, so he would have to fight his way out.
Yeah, he's fighting for his life. Moiraine and Lanfear literally fighting for their life, and that's what Siuan's doing, standing in front of the new Amyrlin Seat. Like they're all. This was so hectic, but they were all kind of leading towards the same thing, the same moment.
No, you can see Sikarnan right there in the sand.
Yeah.
Land comes in and helps out a bit there, though, which is here we go. Look at this. I really loved this shot, especially like just looks so cool with the fireballs.
Yeah.
Her floating in the air was a little odd, but I think it was just her being like forced, or forced into the air by the actual force of the one power. So so healing herself with the true power, though. Like you could see in this moment, like the black ooze of the true power coming out and healing her, and then after that scene, everything that she does after that, you could see the saw in her eyes. So you can kind of see it there a little bit, but you can really, it's really evident in a second.
This speaks how hard she's having to fight against Moiraine.
There's the saw. So her use of the true power, and you can really see her ear bits here. She's still wearing her serpent ear bits. And it's like, as you can see here, it's very reminiscent, the true power, very reminiscent to the taint.
Oh, absolutely.
So as they switch back and forth between them, like you could really see it. I loved these scenes too. These are really cool.
Good versus evil.
Yeah. It's very yin and yang here.
Oh, absolutely. Gosh.
Oh, here we go. I liked that too. That was another good one.
Wow.
And there it is. That looked like it might be a little painful. Probably will leave a mark.
Maybe miss some major organs. I don't know.
Yeah, I think she's fine. Like, I think they subverted our expectation by not killing Maureen this season. Like, everyone thought Maureen was dying this season. Nope, not this season. Yeah, she's going to get tackled through a doorway probably next season. And this is where
this face. I think she's believing her. This is where I was like, okay. She's like, oh, I messed up. Yeah,
it was that one and this too. Like she kind of like is like she feels like she's turning away from Siuan's words because like they're affecting her is what right. And then
luckily her keeper has no conscience and it's like
none
at all.
And this is where she said you've already been sentenced to death, and that's the face. She's like, oh wait a minute, maybe we made a mistake. Like that's what this face. And no. And we don't see it happen on screen, but
thank God I didn't need to see that happen.
Yeah.
But okay, so I have a question about this.
Shoot.
Were they bonded?
That's what I think.
Were they bonded? Okay. That was the first thing I thought of, was that, I mean, she clearly feels her die.
But also, like, there is a wisp of one power here that comes out of her when she dies.
Almost like the cutting of the bond. Wow.
Yeah, you could see it coming out of her here. Like, and then that's when she says Siuan is dead, and that's her face, and then that's Siuan.
Oh, I'm glad we didn't get any closer to that. I don't need to see that.
I'll just keep going out there.
Zoom
but
on
yes,
fast.
definitely dead. We always say, unless you see a body, they're not dead.
Well, we saw the bodies.
We
saw the body and the head.
Yeah, yeah. And Samael. So I think that's them being like, we showed you the body. They're dead.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm holding on to hope with Loyal. Leave me alone.
This is I'm
going to be delusional for a couple years. I'm going to be delusional for a couple of years while they work on season.
And having gone back and listened to it, there's they do play a couple of notes that sound like the Horn of Valir.
Oh yeah,
no, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't do that. I hope they don't make him a hero. Like I think it'll cheapen his death. But I like this shot too. It's a great shot. You know, they fight. She slashes Lanfear in the neck. But, you know, she's survived worse. And she escapes through a portal here. And we can kind of see a little bit through this portal. Unsure as to what we're seeing, though. Like, that's her hand. So that's not anything in the background there. But we see like a red flag here, an awning with these... Camelin maybe, or another town, maybe somewhere that she's established a foothold. It's definitely somewhere with nice stonework. Like that doesn't look like, you know, a like a low class place, and it's very bright. So I'm not thinking it's the Blight.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. Another great shot.
Looks like a tornado.
Yeah, and this is like Rand. This is another one of those instances in the books where like Rand does something and people all over the world see it.
Well, just thinking about the sea folk that we saw and that we do see again, just briefly, right? Is that them at the end? Yeah. How big were their motions to move and change the weather? And he's literally just like,
we could see it. So they're in the waste. We could see it here in Tarvalon. Elida sees it as she's walking into her new Amyrlin study, and you can kind of see it in the background there through the gate. Them taking down the Love Shack ter'angreal. Here, you know, she's probably fallen into her narcissism, where she's like, you know what, I do deserve this.
We're gonna take away all this crappy furniture and get the nice furniture.
Yeah. And we can still, so like we talked about this earlier, we talked about the White Cloaks earlier, so we won't go back into them, but you can see the sky here even too. So now we're by the two rivers.
The whole world. Yeah. That's halfway across the world. And so, is this the sea folk? Do we see?
Is it the sea folk ship, or is it just them?
Is there another angle?
Oh yeah, it's a sea folk ship.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, and there's another one right there. Definitely the sea folk ship. But yeah, and we could see him.
And like he's just
everywhere,
standing there, and he's affecting the weather all across the world.
You know who's noticeably missing in this shot, though? Thom. I don't see a Thom here. I'm hoping he is with them though, because I'd be very sad if he's not there. Yeah. I don't see anything over here. Yeah. This is the only shots that we get, and I don't see a Thom. But yeah, I'm hoping that he's there. Anyway, and this is Egwene kind of leaning into when Moiraine told her, you know, we have to watch him. And that's
for the madness moment. And that look on his face right there. That's not Rand.
No, I think that's Lews Therin too. I was really listening in this scene to see if we can hear Lews Therin at all, and I didn't hear anything. But if anyone else has ways of like picking apart the audio files and things, I don't. But that's how we end. And man, what a freaking ending to this episode. This episode was jam-packed, but meaningful in so many ways. A lot of people are going to be sad that we didn't get the Moghedien and Nynaeve showdown. Yeah. Honestly, we're going to get it. Like, in my opinion, we're going to get it. Yeah. I think I like them playing up the emotions between Moghedien and Nynaeve a bit more. Like they're going, like it looks like they're going to probably feed into that a bit more. Like they've only just started building this animosity between the two of them of Nynaeve resisting the compulsion.
I think she has to fully figure out who she is first before she can have the anger. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, they need to develop this enemy status between the two of them before we have the showdown. And I like that they delayed it. That'll be a great scene when it happens, but I'm sure it'll happen eventually. Everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you had fun with this video. Let us know what you think. We're going to be making some other pre-recorded content for Wheel of Time, and obviously we'll be diving into our new rewatch. So be sure to check out the YouTube channel and watch for our Monday shows. What are we going to be rewatching next? And as always, we will see you on the slopes of Dragonmount. And until next time, say goodnight, Crystal.
Good night, Crystal.
And that's our show. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, please subscribe, hit the like button, give us a thumbs up, or leave us a comment. We love comments, especially positive ones. And if you have any friends that are interested in the Wheel of Time, please share some of our videos with them. And as always, a huge thank you to our sponsor, Tor Books, as well as our amazing Patreon community. And if you are interested in learning about how more of the show was made or some Wheel of Time insights, you too can become a member of the Patreon community. And as always, follow us on Dragonmount with social media. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.